You are now listening to CTR Media Network.
The family. CTR Media Network. Yeah. Best in the biz. Yeah. Join the team. CTR is who we are, the media network, that's the best by far. Whether you listen at your home, at your job, in your car, come get the information that's needed above par. Never lasting, motivational podcasting, giving you the answers to the questions that you're asking. Serious talks and topics, how to come up and profit, how to better yourself, your health is here, we got it. Reaching 350 million, they tuning in. We in 50 different countries, we all can. And like-minded, find your purpose and your assignment. Come get your fix, your feel, your mental alignment. Get active and speak to the masses. Build your influence all levels and all classes. Now you know you can monetize and grow. CTR Media Network, start the show. CTR Media Network.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of CTR Media Network TV. Today we are going to dive into the art and the system of building powerful networks that actually work. Our guest today is a serial entrepreneur, a high-impact connector, and the creator of the Connection Expansion System, a scalable strategy for turning conversations into consistent, compounding growth. He's owned everything from marketing agency to a cat cafe. Yes, you heard me right. That's what I said, a cat cafe. And he's helped thousands of professionals scale by mastering one simple truth: relationships drives results. He's a speaker, best-selling author, and the leader behind ACES Connections Group. Please help me welcome today's guest, the one and the only Devin Sizemore. Welcome to the show.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here. That intro is epic.
Well, hey, you got to be epic for me to have an epic intro, okay?
I love it, though. Now I got to bring the energy, though. I'm feeling it. This is great.
All right. So, Devin, I am so happy that you decided to be a featured guest on the show for one simple fact. I always talk about how you should, as an entrepreneur, business owner, podcaster, always look to building authentic relationships. And the fact that you are the expert on this particular subject and be able to help us navigate for ones who may not understand this process, I'm so happy that you're here to explain it to our viewing and listening audience. So my question to you is this: why do you feel that as professionals, we struggle with getting the predictable amount of referrals from our clients to refer our business or current network that we have right now?
Yeah, getting referrals from your current clients is hard because the ask is always framed around this idea of having someone refer you to a prospective client so that you can sell to them. Everything about that creates friction in the opportunity for them to connect you. And so what we talk about is shifting away from asking for clients and asking for strategic connections, so people who have access to your clients. Those connections and introductions have no friction because they're all value focused, they're all strategic in nature, and there's nothing in the way and no weirdness about, ooh, this guy's going to sell me. No, we're just going to get on and collaborate. And so step one, you've got to shift your ask. Stop focusing on chasing clients and start focusing on building a big, large, meaningful network.
I love the fact that you said connecting, because at the end of the day, podcasters need amazing guests. So you want to pitch yourself, and then entrepreneurs need clients in order to scale and have a sustainable business. But one thing that has been true in both areas is that no one likes to sell. Okay, it's very few people on this earth that absolutely love sales, right? And no one really likes to be sold to. So the fact that you're saying about connecting, I see how valuable that is. And the way that you just described it, it's not hard. It's just like having a conversation. So that is very good. I like it. So when I think about what you do, and I notice on your background, you have a book and different stuff like that. So my question to you is, do you feel like having a book has helped you amplify to be able to connect with more people? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about your book? And has it actually helped you connect with more people?
Yeah, writing the connection expansion book is probably the single best thing I've done for this business. And it's the one thing I wish I'd done for all my other companies, because the book instantly solidifies with people you're reaching out to or people you're connecting to that you're the authority on whatever topic the book talks about. And that eliminates a lot of friction and people going, should I trust you? Who are you? No, it's like, oh, you wrote the book on connections. Great. Let's talk about it. Let's collaborate. Yes, come to my stage. So doors are opening, podcasts are opening. I'm getting invited to speak at more masterminds, more stages. We're attracting more clients. We're growing our group better. Everything is positive growth since writing the book. So can't advocate for it enough. You've got to write a book. It's a great addition to your marketing stack.
So everyone, you heard it here. Devin said you need to write a book. So for everyone who I have already told this to, listen, it ain't just coming from me. It's coming from Devin as well. And I personally agree with you, because it actually, like you said, it builds that trust, it builds that connection more quicker. And also, like you said, it creates you as the authority, because it's not something that you're just saying by just a whim. It is something that you have in print. Like, wait a minute, I'm not just talking about this. Listen, I am the connections king over here. Now, here you go. You either read the book or you talk to me, or you do both. Which one do you want to do? And so I absolutely love that. But let's talk about, because you talk about this topic of how you can build your $1 million network, and how can you build these scalable systems so that can be consistent growth. So let's break this down. How can a person even start? Because you're not going to have $1 million network overnight. So how do they even start to build that so they can scale it later?
Yeah, what's surprising is there's so much potential in everyone who's listing's current network, whether that's existing on social media, it's real contacts in your CRM, it's emails, it's the contacts in your phone. You have people who are connected to you. The issue is those people probably aren't actively opening doors and making connections for you on an ongoing basis. So we have to get from having a network to a network that's actually doing something. And the best way to do that is start with one meeting. Catch up with one person and change the conversation. So when you're meeting with them, you're not getting together to pitch yourself and talk about yourself. No, you're getting together to learn about them, to realign on what's important to them, who are they targeting, what are their goals, what's in their way, how can you help them? How you follow up from that meeting is provide resources, solve challenges, and make connections. You want to make 3 connections from that meeting to help that person move forward. So strategic introductions, things that solve whatever problems they expressed. Again, we're not here to sell our product or service unless they ask, right? Obviously, if they raise their hand and go, oh my gosh, I need you. Yes, great, fantastic. Please make money. But otherwise, add value to them and help them. If you just do it with one person and you make 3 connections to them to help them grow, what will happen is those 3 people you're introducing, one of those 3 is going to reach out and be like, hey, Devin, it's been a while since we connected. We should catch up. And then I'm going to take them into a meeting. We're going to change the dialogue. We're going to ask them the same questions. We're going to follow up. We're going to make 3 connections for them. Of the 3 people you connect them to, guess what? One of those 3 people is going to reach out and go, hey, Devin, it's been a while since we connected. We should catch up. So just start with one. We just need to change the way we're approaching it so that we can reactivate our current and existing network.
I love it. It's our approach. I love that word when you have said that, because at the end of the day, it is that first impression or that reconnection, like you said, of a person who you may not have had a conversation with in a minute. And no, if you reconnecting with them, no one wants you to sell them right then. Like, hey girl, how you doing? Listen, I got this product I want you to purchase right now. You know, girl, I wonder how you doing. Well, girl, it's $19.99. Let's go ahead and get you. Excuse me. So you are absolutely right. I love the way you said it, because let me break this down for our audience. Basically, everyone has some sort of connections with someone. We have our cell phones and we have phone numbers. So who is in your telephone or your phone, right, that you can connect with? Do you remember the last conversation that you had with them? If not, then you need to just reactivate that conversation and just ask them some questions to see how they are doing. So what Devin is telling you is that you got to stop thinking about yourself first. You have to think about them and then talk to them. And then as you talk to them and get to know them or reactivate their relationship, what happens is they're going to tell you what they need. And the fact of the matter is, whatever it is that you need and you have it, then you can give it to them. So Devin, let me just talk to you about this right here, because at the end of the day, I see that you have multiple companies, but I would be remiss with my curiosity to not ask you this. How in the world did you start a cat cafe, and what exactly is a cat cafe? Okay, I just have to, I'm sorry. I got to get up off that right there, y'all. I got to know, I need to be on the nose.
You gotta ask. That's why it's in the bio. So yeah, I started a cat cafe. So let me explain. The best thing you can do is do a YouTube search. Go find a video so you can see it. So the cat cafe, you pay by hour to hang out with cats. Yes, physical cats, animals. They sit on your lap. You can pet them and hang out with them. And there is an adoption component where, yes, we can adopt them. But really, it's a space for people to come. And what we found is we attract seniors who live in situations where they can't have animals, spouses where their spouse is highly allergic, but they still want that time with animals, college kids who, again, were on campus, can't have animals, but want to be around them. And we also found that there was a large demographic of people who had PTSD, really stressful jobs that would come in and detox before going home. So they would come in and use the cafe as this safe space to really kind of change their energy. And so pay by hour, hang out with the cats. We had a coffee shop up front, meeting space upstairs. My wife and I launched the business together. So that was super fun. We got to do a company together. We opened in 45 days and then we sold it to an employee after 6 months. Since then, she's rebranded, launched a nonprofit, done amazing stuff. So super fun business, very impactful for cat adoptions, but also mental health. And it was a profitable venture as well.
Oh, well, hey, now you just shift my whole perspective. I'm like, my daughter loves animals. Okay, because I was like, wait a minute now. A cat cafe, they're going to have coffee or, some little muffins. What's going on with this cat cafe? But now that I heard what you said, I'm not even into cats like that. I'm more of a dog person, but it made me want to go. So I really see how that can be very beneficial, especially in the time that we're living in now. So knowing that you have such a diverse portfolio in regards to what you're doing, and you had to connect with people in different arenas, different mindset, different industries, you really know how to connect. So what is one thing, if a person is a little bit recluse, a little shy, they are a business owner, they have to talk, what is one of those things that they can easily kind of break the ice to kind of get the conversation going, where they don't feel like they probing a person, but just starting a genuine conversation with someone?
Yeah, 2 answers. First, show up authentically. And so I think a lot of times we're forced to dress a certain way, act a certain way, use certain language, because that's what we think people expect from us. We are far past that. It's 2025. Like, show up as you. So whatever's comfortable, dress what feels good for you. Obviously looking professional and feeling the part, but I'm wearing a shirt that says, who can I connect you with, right? So like, you can show up how you want. That's first. Second, have a set series of questions. You want set questions when networking, whether virtual or in person, because it gives you a clear path. This is where I start. This is where I end, and it keeps the conversation contained. For introverts, it's great because you don't have to think about the weather, the sports teams, politics, random questions, end up down a slippery slope in a conversation you didn't want to be in. No, just ask your 4 questions. For extroverts, it allows you to shut up so that you can ask your questions and let the other person talk, which again keeps the conversation contained so you can get their contact info and move on. So show up authentically and comfortable. Have a set of questions that you're going to move people through, usually 3 or 4, and then move to the next conversation.
I absolutely love it. So for ones who may be saying, okay, I am not that person that's going to go in the room and just start shaking hands and start like, they might have a little social anxiety. I don't know. But but they decided, okay, if I can just control the atmosphere a little bit and maybe have a Zoom meeting or maybe meet with 4 or 5 different people at a closed event or, something that's a little bit more personable, how should they conduct those type of meetings? Is there a certain format that they should do when they are conducting those type of meetings that is, the goal is to connect with people?
Yeah, so first, put yourself in comfortable situations. So you mentioned it, right? If showing up to an event where there's a lot of people is intimidating, then don't do that. Show up to something that's comfortable. So I always tell people, lean on your hobbies first, right? If you like hiking, find a hiking group you can plug into where you can practice building relationships in a comfortable environment. If you like music, go line dancing, go to a place that's got live music, go around music so you're in a comfortable environment where you have a chance to talk in a comfortable environment. Same thing if you like gaming, sports, doesn't matter. Whatever your hobby is, do that. When you're in those environments, I ask this same 4 questions, right? Who are you? How long have you been doing it? What'd you do before? How can I help you? Doesn't matter if it's a birthday party, a business event, if we're bowling, if we're golfing, if we're hiking, it doesn't matter. It's the same 4 questions because those 4 questions are just on repeat. And my goal when I'm meeting you for the first time is to get your contact information. So if I can ask you 4 questions, then I can be like, hey, that's amazing. Let me get your info so I can follow up and we can continue the conversation. If I get your information, I win because now I can control the follow-up and I can do it the way that's comfortable for me. So put yourself in a comfortable environment, still use the same questions, but make sure you get people's contact info. And if you're in a comfortable environment, it gives you things naturally you can talk about because you're probably comfortable in that space or around that hobby or that thing.
I love it because at the end of the day, I never even thought about putting yourself in a comfortable environment. I mean, I do that naturally. However, I didn't think about that in regards to giving advice to someone who may feel a little like nonchalant, like, oh, I don't really want to do that, So if you put yourself in a comfortable environment, then you're more conducive to have that conversation without feeling like you're on the spot, so to speak. And so one thing I want to talk to you about, because you're so great with connections, is some people say potatoes, some people say potato, some people say tomatoes, some people, so apples and oranges. This is the point. Should we have business cards in our hand or should we have a digital business card? Because now we're in this digital era and we want to connect if we do go somewhere, whether it's closed, intimate or a big event. So should we do one or the other or should we do a combination of both when the goal is to make those authentic connections?
Yeah, the number one goal is get their information however they're willing to give it to you. So yes, there are a lot less business cards. I usually start there. I'll start because it's easy, right? Oh, do you have a business card? If they do, great, you get it. Now you have their data. Now you could follow up. If they don't, and I was just at the National Speakers Association conference, I would say 75% of people didn't have cards, 25% did. The 75%, you then have to decide what's the easiest way to connect. Are you going to open up LinkedIn and scan each other's profiles and connect on LinkedIn? What I like to do is I like to say, what's your number? Let me shoot you a text. I'll put their number in. I'll shoot them a text. I'll take a selfie with them and I'll send the picture to them so they remember that we met and what we look like. That's a good memory hook. And I at least have their information to follow up. I can then text them and say, hey, it was great chatting with you. What's the best email? Love to follow up and set up a time to schedule, or I can just stay in text message if that's comfortable. Whatever they're willing to do to give you their information, you play along. I have a form they can fill out that's on my phone too. Hey, here's a form. Just drop your name and email in there. It'll send you all my details and I look forward to connecting with you. Whatever gets their info, that's your goal. I personally don't carry business cards because I know that if I give you my stuff, you're probably not going to follow up. So I would rather get your information so that I can control the follow-up.
Wow. That, what you just said, especially with taking a selfie, because that connection, the way that you did it, actually personalize it. I mean, how many people actually doing that? This is the first time I heard someone out of all the people I speak to that said, take a selfie. I'm like, wow, now that is a game changer, because it's not only going to jog their memory, but it's going to jog ours as well, especially if you're at an event where you meet hundreds of people at one time and you happen to meet 3 Tonys. I mean, there are cases where you meet multiple people with the exact same name. So you have to have some type of descriptive terms or something to remember them in the conversation. So that is actually golden. So I want to talk a little bit about your connection expansion. So what is a connection expansion exercise, and how does it help shift your ask when you're building your network? Because that's what you're all about. That's what your book is about. You talk about real people, real conversation, real connections. So let's get down into that.
Yeah, so this kind of goes back to some of the stuff we've talked about, but let me bring it home. So when someone asks you, who can I connect you with? Your default answer is typically your ideal client profile in most industries. I'm going to use real estate as an example. It tends to be the thing people can understand and relate to. If I ask a realtor who they want to connect with, they're going to answer with an ideal client profile. It might be a first-time buyer, it might be a move-up buyer, it might be someone that's an empty nester that's downsizing. Each of those is a different profile type of person. Savvy realtors, if I say, who can I connect you with, will usually go a step beyond the ideal client, and they'll say, oh, insurance agents would be great and mortgage lenders would be great, because those are great strategic partners. The problem is every realtor is asking for insurance agents and mortgage lenders. So if you think about your industry, it's the same thing. You have an ideal client, that's where you default answer is. Savvier people will answer with whatever the referral partner is, but that's typically the main referral partner for your industry. What the connection expansion exercise does, it takes you and lets you think different. Where do your clients spend money? Where do they seek education? Where do they gather? Who influences them? Who do they trust? And who's a general connector? Through building those lists, you come up with a different ask. Let's just use vendors. So if we decide that I'm going after first-time home buyers, so new career, typically a kid on the way, where they spend money might be the nursery store, could be daycares. Maybe they gather at parent-teacher associations for young children. Maybe they're participating in dance or karate or some of these other places that tend to attract that age demographic. If my ask shifts to, you know what, I would love to know more daycare owners, because I'd love to connect with them so that I can be a resource for their families and support their daycare. Now, all of a sudden, there's no friction in the ask because no one's being sold. I'm saying connecting with them so that I can show up and add value. If I just say, hey, I'd love to meet everyone you know that's having a baby or got a new career so I can sell them a house, it feels dirty, right? Like it just doesn't feel right. And so the quote I want everyone to remember when you're out there networking is, everybody wants to buy, nobody wants to be sold. Everybody wants to buy, nobody wants to be sold. Stop selling. Start connecting, start asking better questions, focus on the strategic ask, not the client ask, and watch how easy it is to build a network.
All right. That was absolutely epic how you explained that. So the next question I know that our viewing and listening audience want to know, if they still feel a little apprehensive about the networking connections thing, all of this, right? Is there any way, do you have a community that they can join? Do you have, resources that they can do? I know you have a book. Can they get the book? How they get the book? Basically, how do they connect?
Yeah, so for sure, get the book, connectionexpansion.com. The link's below me if you're watching. Connection Expansion book is available on Amazon in all formats and the audiobook. If you want to listen to me talk about it for an hour and 54 minutes, you can. I also host ACE's Connection Group, which is a free school community. Inside the community, my masterclass is fully available. All the email templates, all the scripts, 2 GPTs, everything and anything you need to implement the system. And you can do it at your own pace because you can pause and take notes. All of it's available. Plus, it gives you a group of people that are on the same mission to strategically build their networks. So you're doing it in a safe space with others that are learning, adapting, and scaling at the same time. So grab a copy of the book or hop in the community and come hang out with us.
All right. Sound good. And you said that your community is on School?
Correct.
School, SKOOL.com?
Yep.
All right. And what is a particular name they need to look for? Because it's a lot of people over there. So
there are a lot.
Particular name?
Yeah, so if you search ACES Connection Group or Connection Group, you'll see it pop up. We've got about 240 members right now. Also, if you go to Connection Expansion, that'll take you to my website. At the very top, you'll see ACES in the navigation bar. You can get there going there as well.
Well, Devin, I want to thank you so much for coming in and helping us to de-stress the whole connection networking thing, because we make it a thing, but it's not really a thing. It's just natural conversation. And if you put the other person first, then it makes it so much easier in the way that you broke down everything. So is there anything else you would like to say to our viewing and listening audience before we go?
Stop overcomplicating it. Start with one person, one meeting, one more connection. Change the way you're doing it. Start adding value to others, and let's get your network re-engaged.
Love it, love it, love it. So you want to know more about how you can get your audience re-engaged? Then go on over there to Devin. On that note, thank you, Devin, for being our featured guest. For those of you who are going to be in the Columbia, South Carolina area, October the 11th, guess what? This is all about connecting. Yes, connecting and networking. I am actually collaborating with KBBU University with the Media and Wealth Summit. This is an amazing event that's going to be happening here in the Midlands. So go and get your ticket today by going to www.ctrmedianetwork.com and get your ticket today. We still have a few more vendor spots. We have some sponsorship spots available as well. This event is all about letting you know how to utilize and leverage the power of media in order to scale, build, and grow your business, podcast, TV show, or whatever it is that you're doing to be that leader in whatever you're put on this earth to do. And the wealth side of it is helping you get your finances together, your credit, how to do investments, all the things that you need. Once you start having your scalable business or your personal finances, you need to know how to diversify your portfolio. So we have people in the building from grant experts, wealth experts, connections experts, branding experts, visibility, and more. So make sure to check us out today by going to www.ctrmedianetwork.com. And like I said before, and I'll say it again, go ahead and scan me, baby. Yeah, go ahead. It won't hurt. Just tickle me a little bit. Go ahead and scan me. So that you can see this episode and so much more on the CTR Media Network, where content meets impact. And you can see us on all these platforms, from Roku TV, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, our app, iOS, Google Play. I mean, come on, just go ahead and download it. The app is absolutely free, and you'll be able to see CTR Media Network TV as well as 30-something other podcast shows in accounting. Go ahead and get the information. We talk about everything from business, wellness, life, mental health, and homeschooling for those of you who are interested in homeschooling. So on that note, you guys have a great, amazing rest of your day. And thank you so much for tuning in to this episode with our featured guest, Mr. Devin, the Connector. And we will talk to you later. Same time, same place. Have a great day.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.